Sir, head office, branch office இருக்குல்ல sir.
Okay.
So head officeல இருந்து branch office போயிட்டு branch office வந்து இன்டர்நெட் ஆக்சஸ் பண்ணனும்னா head office வழியா தான் ஆக்சஸ் பண்ணணும். அந்த
Okay.
scenario.
Branch office need to access internet via head office. That's the scenario. Okay. What is the issue you have?
From R2ல இருந்து எப்படி அது பண்றதுன்னு எனக்கு தெரியல சார்.
Okay. See, Murli and
yes, sir.
and Pradeep, this is considered as an internet. To reach this network from router 2, we don't have any routes. Why? We have not allowed the routes to go to router 2. We allowed the internet routes only in the head office. How did we achieve it? By adding another additional route target. So head office can go to internet, but branch office cannot. It is easy to just add a route target value, same like what you added in the head office. You can add it easily on the other PE router, so the branch office can also have reachability to internet. That is easy to achieve. It's the same route target that you added in the head office. You can also add it on the PE router where the branch office connects. Is that right, Ramesh? Hello.
Yes. Yes,
If
sir.
you simply add route target, the same route target that you added on R3, the internet route target in R6, the customers will be able to ping directly to the internet. But that is easy to achieve. I expect you already finished it. If not, try it later. But now what I'm saying is, we do not want the branch office to learn routes directly from the internet, because the head office is already having internet. We will forward the traffic to the head office, and head office will forward the routes to the traffics to the internet. You understood what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Murli, Pradeep?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, Aaron, yeah.
So why should we pay separate money for the branch office internet? When the head office is already having high-speed internet, and we already having an MPLS connection to the head office, already we are paying for the MPLS WAN connection from all the branch offices. So this is the idea. This has got reachability to the internet. We are paying for this service, internet service. And we are already paying for VPN service between branch office and the head office. So instead of spending another money for internet, what we are planning is, we are planning to use the same tunnel, go to the head office, because the head office have got the internet. Head office will route the packet to the internet, and again coming back to the branch office via the head office. There are two advantages in this. Head office knows what the branch offices are communicating to the outside world. They can monitor any conversation to the outside world goes through the head office. That's one advantage. That's a big advantage. Secondly, you no need to pay additional money for another connection, internet connection. So what idea I gave is there are many ways to do it. One of the way that I was telling is advertise a default route from here to router 2. Advertise a default route. So that the traffic will come down here, isn't it? Will it come or not? If you
Is
advertise
it?
the default route, for unknown destinations, router 2 will use the default route and come to the head office. And head office already have the internet. So this is the solution I was giving him as a suggestion when he was asking me a doubt after I gave the homework. Is the idea sounding good or not? Pradeep, Murli.
Yeah, that is good, but
Hmm.
we need to understand from default route perspective, or from R1 perspective.
R1 is simply going to
Okay,
advertise a default route.
okay.
R1
But
is
that
going
is,
to.
sorry, that is going out, right? So any destination that is going to, that needs to go via next stop. That is what the default route means, right?
Yeah. See, R1 or R3, one of this router needs to tell R2 that if you don't know any network, come to me. That is what advertising a default route. See, writing a static default route is any network you don't know, you go there. That is writing static default route. Advertising default route means what? I'm advertising default route. What does it mean? I am saying, my friend, if you don't know anything, just come to me. I'm here now. Why you worry? That's what advertising default route. You understood?
So that statement under R1 router, right, Aaron?
Any route that you decide later. Solution is
Okay.
giving a default route to router 2 so that router 2 should forward the packet to head office who knows the internet. Even it no need to go to head office, I tell you. Even this VRF of the head office here knows the route to internet. Yes or no, Ramesh? The
Yes, sir.
VRF
Yes, sir.
of Tinku, the VRF of one, both are same, Tinku and one is same. The VRF1 routing table also knows the internet route. So if the traffic is coming up to here, it can be routed here. So you need to decide from where to advertise default route. From where to advertise a default route. Now I'm going to advertise from router 3 to show you this. I go to router 3, console. I did not start route memo. Now on router 3, if you check the routing table, show IP route star VRF. So this is the routing table, and we are learning OSPF. We are also learning internet. You see, internet. From internet VRF, we have learned this. So this routing table knows how to go to internet. All that we need to do is we need to receive the routes coming from router 2 so that we can allow router 2 also to access this. For that, router 3 should advertise. Router 3 only should advertise default route to router 2. As of now, if you check on router 2, show IP route, there is no route to reach 99999, and there is no default route also.
So Aaron, here that means on R6 we have not imported, right? 3.3 on 2 VRF2.
What is not important? We already got the route now 1111 coming from the remote office, Tinku. Do you have it or not?
Yeah, regarding internet.
We are not ready to because it's an additional money. That is one reason. Another reason, we do not want the customers to go directly to internet. We want it to come to head office and let head office decide whether to allow him or not. See, for that you need to advertise from here the default route. But to avoid a wastage of bandwidth, what I'm doing here itself. Instead of going there to R1, get routed and come back on the same path, again go back on the same path and get routed via the tunnel. I'm just doing. You can do it on R1 or R3. That is your choice. I'm doing from R1, R3 because R3 also has got the same customer's routing table. Doing on R1 is very easy. So I'm doing it on R3 because it's under VRF. You want me to do on R1 or R3?
R3 லே பண்ணுங்க சார்.
R3. Okay.
So,
Same
yeah,
comment you're going to type on R1. That's all. Tell me.
Yeah, but if you do it on R1, do we need to allow or deny anything, Aaron?
Nothing.
Nothing, right?
Same command you're going to do. All right. So I'm going to go to router BGP 10. BGP 10. What? Keyboard is responding very bad. Typing 10. Router BGP 10. Need no. Address family because it is under VRF, no? So address family. IPv4. VRF. No. If I do under this, it will advertise only to router 1. Sorry, this is not the way it should be done. Okay, because we changed to BGP here, sorry, OSPF here, I cannot use BGP's default route. So let us do this on R1 only. If I do this on R1, Let's see. R1. So traffic will come to head office R1. Might double come to the R1 now. Okay, but what we have is here OSPF. See, if it is BGP, this is what I would have done. Hold on, focus. If you're running BGP, I don't know why one. I would have said neighbor 13. My God, I don't know why my keyboard behaves like this. Very bad. Neighbor. Oh, my first three keys are very bad. Neighbor 1. What?
சார் அன்பிளக்டு பண்ணிட்டு ட்ரை பண்ணி பாருங்க சார்.
What?
கீபோர்டு அன்பிளக் பண்ணிட்டு பாருங்க சார்.
It's not keyboard. It's my laptop keyboard.
ஓகே.
I press one, but it is typing a lot of things. Okay, so if I say 13 dot, oh my, sorry, 0001, let's assume this is my neighbor, 0006. Default information, default origin, that's all. This is enough. Default originate. This is going to advertise a default route in BGP. There is another way also. You write a static default route and say redistribute static. These are all the ways in BGP we can advertise a default route. See? What a brain. Router OSPF1. Default information originate. You need to say for one particular neighbor. Okay. So there is a command called default information originate. But what will happen, if I hit this? Even for internet, there will be a default route given. That I don't want. I don't want default route to be given to internet. So, do I have any option? Of course, there is an option. There is a route map. We also have something called distribution list. We can also use distribution list. Let me say as of now, let me say this, and go and check on R2. I've said, is the OSPF right? Show IP protocol. Yeah, OSPF 1. Clear IP OSPF process. I'll go to this PE router and check once. Show IP route VRF1. Okay, you see, we have a default route. It says, anything you don't know, you come to me. And this need to be advertised to router 2. But I'm not seeing it here. Okay. That's an advantage also for us. So that won't be the default route if it is not advertising to. Okay, let me check it on R6 1 minute. R6 and also on R9. I don't want to see the default route on R9. Show IP route. Good. We don't have it. It is good for us. Now we need to find a solution to get the default route down to router 6. Router 6. If it is BGP, it will advertise the default routes. But OSPF, only up to R3. R3 is not taking and advertising it. Show IP BGP. Star. So, show BGP, VPN, V4, unicast, all. I don't see any default route here. Okay. So no default route is coming here. We want now BGP to provide. BGP only provides the VPN. We want BGP to do this on R3. Show run section router BGP. What do we have in BGP? Address we have redistributed OSPF. This is the place where we need to do some work. So I'm going under BGP's IPv4 PRF1 and I check whether is there any command to include the default route. Okay, there is a route map option. That is one way. In route map also I can have a default route. And I want to see any other way. Neighbor. I don't have any neighbor inside this. Wonderful. You just got this command. Default information originate command. So there is no need for using a route map. I advertise a default route by saying default information originate. I'm expecting a default route on R6 now. Show IP route VRF. No default. It's okay. I will write one default route. Maybe after that I'll see this. IP VRF 1 route. No. IP route VRF 1. This is how we write static route. This is how we write static route in the VRF routing. Any network, any subnet mask, send the traffic to head office address 13.13.13.13.1. Now let me check whether I'm able to see. When we have a default route, show IP route VRF 1. See, I have written a static default route instead of VRF theme. I'm asking BGP to advertise this only to R6. R6 knows 13001. R2 also knows 13001, so that they can send EC. Go and check the routing table of R2. It knows 13. So if I give a default route, it will easily forward it to the head office 13001. I want to bring the default route somehow here. I can manually write the default route, that's not a big deal. But I want the routing protocol to do this. I can easily write one default route saying go to 13001, traffic will go. But I want to be done by the protocol. BGP to do this. I'm saying advertise this. Show router, show run section router BGP. So even after saying this, I don't see. So what I can do is, I'll tell you the reason why this is not working, but I need some time to think. What I'll do now is, there is another way. There are many ways in networking, that's the only way. You can say redistribute static. That's all. That's a static default route I already written. Now that will be seen in R6. You see, through BGP, you learn a default route. And then now if you go to check, go and check an R2, R2 will also, whatever. R6 has got default route to R3. And R3 also has got default route to R1. It is also taking to the head office, and the head office knows the internet. Now the only thing is router 2 don't have the route. What protocol we run in OSPF? Okay, we run OSPF. If it is BGP, we don't have these problems. It would have already advertised. Because we have multiple protocols, we need to do many times this default route. If R6 need to give to R2, the default route it already knows. Say show run, say show IP route, not here R6. It knows. I'm showing this in the VRF table. In the VRF table, it has got a default route. But it is not giving to R2. So I'm going to route for OSPF2. OSPF2. Redistribute. No need. Let's try this kind. Default information originate to check whether it can use the default route and give it to R6. Because we are using OSPF, I'm using the OSPF commands. Wonderful. So OSPF has given a default route. So this will send to router 6, and router 6 will send to router 3. And router 3 knows the head office, and head office knows the internet. That's all. Yep. So head office branch office can now go through the head office to reach internet. So if you ping and all, it will not ping. Why it will not ping? Because the network of the branch office is not known to the internet. So the return traffic will not come. In real world, what we do is we do NATing. So there is no problem. So don't expect ping in this lab. All that you need to have is a route. And when you do NATing, the ping will work. Because internet, when you do NATing, it will not see your original address, router 2's address. It will see only the WAN address. Because of that, the ping will happen. So what I did is, I went to R3. I wrote a static default route pointing towards R1. And then I used BGP to advertise it. Further, the command that I used is redistribute. Show run section router BGP. I went under the VRF and then I say redistribute static. I tried this command, it didn't work. I said redistribute static. As a result, the default route was available on R6 via BGP. Via BGP, the default route was available for me. And you remember when I write the static route on R3, I was using the VRF command in the static route. So that is the syntax for writing static route under a VRF. Without this only we used to write default route. That is for the global routing table. So the route was available, the route has come to R6. Now R6 and R2 don't have BGP, so it won't go directly from R6 to R2. unless you go to OSPF and say default information origin. When you say default information origin and OSPF, OSPF will use this default route and advertise it to R2, and R2 has learned a route. So hub by hub packet will go. Packet will go up to router 6. Router 6 will send it to router 3. And router 3 will receive it. And router 3 will send it to router 1. And router 1 will send it to the destination that you are pinging is 99999. That's the internet address. From router 2, you'll be pinging 99999. So using default route, it comes all the way down here, and this routes the packet to the router 3 again. And router 3 checking the routing table to reach 99999. Actually, router 3 will not send it to head office. If your destination is 33333, sorry, 99999, there is a most precise match here. Instead of using default route, it will use this, and it will divert the traffic right here itself. Boom, boom, like this. It goes directly, but this cannot reply back because this do not know about the branch office. Right? So